Hello, Steve. That's Steve. That's 89. Well, we had a little bit of drama on The View, or not on The View, but in relation to The View. Meghan McCain released her, I guess it's like an autobiography. It's called Bad Republican. It's on Audible. It's 6 hours long. And in it, she had a chapter on The View where she spilled a lot of tea and did some trash talking. Basically, she called the View work environment a toxic work environment and said she was bullied off the job, basically. She is the only person in 24 years, the only host in 24 years to actually leave voluntarily. The rest are all fired. She actually left because she just didn't want to be there anymore. She said she felt hated and that it was a toxic work environment. It was, I think, January, and she'd come back from 3 months of the maternity leave. She said she was suffering postpartum anxiety, which I think is her responsibility. And she had an exchange with Joy where she was teasing Joy and saying, "Oh, you missed me, you missed fighting with me." And Joy said, "No, I didn't, not at all, not zero." And I believe her, because I hated her on the show. Other people hated her on the show. We were happy when she left. We weren't happy when she came back. We wanted to leave. We were happy when she left. People didn't like her, but unfortunately, the marketing people around The View just care about if people are talking about the show, not if the show is good or watchable, or if the casts get along and the hosts actually have a healthy environment. They just wanted fights for media. So they didn't care. So they wanted to keep her on the show. They tried to talk her into staying, but she didn't want to. So, I really think she should have taken more time off, because she clearly wasn't ready to come back. If she couldn't do her job, which was to talk to these people where sometimes it gets heated, then she shouldn't have been back at work yet. She should have taken 6 months off or something. I don't know. It was paid maternity leave. I don't know how long she had as an option. I think she just didn't want to be off work that long. But she clearly came back before she was ready, because she couldn't handle a very simple exchange. I mean, it was just what I said. It was she said that to Joy. Joy replied. It wasn't like they had a huge fight and they were screaming at her or something, or they weren't screaming at her behind the scenes or anything. That's all it took to basically have her cry during the break. She said she cried during the break. Then after the show, she had an anxiety attack and she threw up in her dressing room. So clearly, she wasn't ready to come back to work. And I think it's her responsibility to have recognised that and not gone back to work before she was ready. I think that's all on her. Now, the other things probably are not on her, if they happened. There were claims that she put in reports to HR and they were ignored. ABC said that they addressed all complaints as, from and about her, because apparently it wasn't just her complaining, it was other people complaining about her. And they couldn't have done any more than they did. They did everything they could to facilitate a healthy environment. She claims it wasn't. She claims they were always talking about her and that she was singled out because she was right-wing, everyone else was left-wing. She considered an anthropological experiment in left-wing media by her being on the show, and she enjoyed it to an extent, and she doesn't regret it, but she would never go back. She did hate it. So basically, she said it wasn't healthy for her to basically be in an environment where she's hated and paranoid and feeling like she's being constantly watched and attacked and so forth. But like I said, I think a lot of that is her own responsibility. If she's being paranoid, she's being paranoid. If people were doing things to her, that's different. But if she was paranoid, I think she had a lot of issues at the time. Probably, I don't know if it was all related to her postpartum anxiety, but I think it's mostly her. But obviously, the host didn't like her politics and they would argue about those things. Supposedly they're always respectful behind the scenes. Now, she and Joy haven't spoken since she left. Her and Whoopi have. Her and Sunny are still friends. And she apparently there was this report that ABC wasn't allowing anyone on the crew to talk to her. But apparently she still talks to the stylist and the makeup people, and she's still friends with Sunny, and she still talks to Whoopi. So who knows? Rumours are rumours. She also mentioned the people she liked and didn't like on the show, that when she was there, basically she said she loved Jamie Lee Curtis, Terry Crews and Tyler Perry, who are all wonderful, but she hated Nathan Lane. She said he was a D. She said James Comey and Rachel Maddow were so rehearsed and slick that they were horrible to interview. And I think that's it. Basically, there wasn't as much in it as I thought, and she only dedicated one chapter to The View in the book. I thought it would have been more, considering she was there for 4 years, and that's one of the things she was famous for, I mean, first thing was being John McCain's daughter, and then using that to get on The View, and then being this argumentative, immature, because she just comes across as entitled, and these people should have treated me like a princess. I'm rich and important, and they didn't treat me like a princess. They didn't baby me. I came into a work environment that I wasn't equipped for and couldn't handle. I couldn't handle being disagreed with because I'm used to people telling me I'm right all the time. And then when she had postpartum anxiety, she came back, I think, before she was ready, but she expected them to baby her and treat her differently than other people and hosts and other people on the show. I think that was unrealistic. So I don't have a lot of sympathy. I don't think she was really treated differently. I think she probably wasn't ready to come back, and she should have managed her postpartum anxiety better than she did. But we'll probably hear more about this. None of the other hosts have spoken out about it. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.